exciting for me to make her, her heroism be something that set the events of Bioshock into motion, which eventually, saves all the little sisters. That was really gratifying, a nice way to tie the whole thing up for me.
And you probably didn't have that idea 10 years ago, right? You had to retrofit it off.
I had no idea.
He has a letter that he's addressed to himself that's 10 years old. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, for me, it was a nice way for me to say goodbye to Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite, because those two worlds together. You don't realize, or I don't think the audience realizes how much time you spend with these characters, trying to get them out and polished and into the world. And it was a good opportunity, I think, as a game developer to kind of have that little coda at the end where you're like, okay, I get to, now I'm ready to move on to the next thing. I've had a nice, break. Like, let's seal this off, and now I'm on to the next thing.
And it was like 12 years of our lives, too. Between the very beginning of it, and it was a long time.
Well, I mean, so my daughter, who is 16 now, I did a lot of filming of her when she was 6 as a little sister.
Oh, wow.
And this was not mocap, I was just running around the office. And I'm like trying to be like, now trip over the thing and pretend you die. Or like, trying to not traumatize a 6-year-old. Yeah, pretend you're drinking something, and and then I never showed her the actual game until much later. But she, on BSI, I put her in a mocap suit and actually used her for the little sister in Paris that's running after the balloon. So that was kind of, for me, like a nice
way to connect it all together. Were there any characters on the original game that you found hardest to write? I mean, you mentioned recasting Atlas, things like that, but was there a character that was the most challenging for you, Ken?
Well, Atlas, because he was basically written completely twice. That was very, very tough, and I was very happy about the original character, and I thought I'd really done something great, and then we showed it to people, and they just hated it, and they didn't trust him. And if they didn't trust him, we were screwed. And so it was tough, because we, after having gone through all the recording, I had to let the actor go. It's no fault of his own, right? It was on us. He had invested in it, tell him that it wasn't going to happen, and rewrite it from scratch. That was hard, and that was tough. And then after I finished it, I had a debate with somebody on the team who felt the accent was really, really phony. And we had an English person on the team, and he felt the accent was really phony. So at the last minute, we basically ended up doing a focus test in Ireland. To see if people bought the accent, because the actor playing Atlas was Irish, but he was from a different part of Ireland, so he was playing a different kind of Irish accent. I don't think he was from Dublin, and Atlas sort of had a Dublin accent. And so at the last minute, I thought I was going to have to do it again.
Oh, wow.
And fortunately, the focus test came back, and people loved it.
I don't know how you survived that plane crash, but I've never been one to question Providence. I'm Atlas, and I aim to keep you alive.
And a lot of the villains in the game felt like they were, very much tied to certain levels. And this was, you were still in an environment of levels with Bioshock, right? It wasn't just a big open world. Did that all sort of get designed together? It's like, here's the best villain that's going to fit to this environment and this theme of, this area?
Some of them work better than others. I mean, I think obviously Steinman and especially Sandra Cohen really, I think, dominate in terms of the level boss.
They are their levels.
They are the levels, and some of the characters didn't hold up as well, I don't think, on the writing side. The fun thing about the characters that work